The world's most advanced computer chips are not made across dozens of factories spread across multiple countries. 90% of them are made in one building complex, on one island that China considers its own territory. If that complex stops operating for any reason, every car, every hospital, every military system, and every bank on Earth faces a supply crisis within months. The global economy has quietly built itself around a single point of failure that no government fully planned, no market fully priced, and no contingency plan fully addresses. And the same pattern of concentrated dependency that collapsed the Dutch spice monopoly, the Ottoman trade empire, and every other single-source economic system in history is now running at civilizational scale. The company is TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, founded in 1987. It produces the chips that power every iPhone, every data center, every AI model, and most of the world's military hardware. No other factory on Earth can manufacture semiconductors at the same level of precision. The United States, China, South Korea, Japan, and Europe all depend on TSMC for the most advanced chips their economies require. That dependency was not designed. It accumulated over 4 decades of decisions that each made individual sense and collectively created the most dangerous concentration of industrial power in modern history. Semiconductors are not complicated to understand at the economic level. They are the component without which nothing in the modern economy functions. Every device with a processor contains them. Every system that processes information requires them. The question of who makes them is therefore not a technical question. It is a geopolitical and financial question of the first order. Morris Chang founded TSMC in Taiwan in 1987 with a single insight that no other company had fully acted on. Chip design and chip manufacturing could be separated. Companies could design chips without owning the factories that made them. TSMC would do nothing but manufacture, accepting designs from any customer and producing them with unmatched precision and scale. This model was called the foundry model. It sounds unremarkable. Its consequences were not. Within 2 decades, every major technology company on Earth had adopted it. Apple, Nvidia, AMD, Qualcomm, and hundreds of others stopped building manufacturing facilities entirely. They focused on design. TSMC focused on production. The arrangement made every individual company more efficient, more profitable, and more focused. It also made every individual company entirely dependent on one manufacturer for their most critical components. The gap between TSMC and every competitor widened through the 2010s at a pace that should have alarmed every government that noticed it. Most did not. Manufacturing semiconductors at advanced nodes requires equipment so precise that the machines used to pattern circuits onto silicon can only be supplied by one Dutch company, ASML, which makes a device called an extreme ultraviolet lithography machine. A single machine costs approximately $380 million. TSMC owns more of them than any other company in the world. The knowledge required to operate them at the yields TSMC achieves has taken decades to accumulate and cannot be replicated quickly regardless of investment. Intel tried, Samsung tried. Both have spent tens of billions attempting to match TSMC's most advanced manufacturing capabilities. Neither has succeeded at scale. TSMC's most advanced manufacturing node, as of 2024, produces transistors smaller than 3 nanometers. 3 nanometers is roughly the width of 15 silicon atoms. The engineering required to do this consistently and at commercial scale represents the most technically demanding manufacturing process in human history. By 2023, TSMC controlled approximately 92% of production capacity for the world's most advanced chips. That number is not a market share figure in the ordinary sense. It is a dependency figure. It describes how much of the global economy's most critical component supply runs through one company in one location. The thing that almost no one in financial markets had fully modeled was what happens to that dependency if Taiwan's status changes. The 2021 chip shortage made the dependency visible for the first time at a scale ordinary people could understand. The shortage was not caused by a military crisis or a geopolitical disruption. It was caused by a demand surge during the COVID-19 pandemic, combined with supply chain disruptions that were modest by any historical standard. Automakers could not get chips. Ford reported losing approximately $2.5 billion in profit in the second quarter of 2021 alone because of chip shortages. General Motors idled plants across North America. Toyota cut production by 40% globally. The shortage cost the global automotive industry an estimated $210 billion in lost revenue in 2021, according to AlixPartners. This was caused by a demand spike and logistical disruption of moderate severity. It was not caused by any physical damage to manufacturing capacity. TSMC's factories kept running. Every analyst and government official who studied the 2021 shortage arrived at the same conclusion. A moderate disruption in normal market conditions produced a $210 billion shock. A genuine disruption to TSMC's physical production capacity would produce consequences several orders of magnitude larger. The question of what could disrupt that physical capacity has one obvious answer that every defense and intelligence agency in the world is currently studying. Taiwan is located 180 kilometers from mainland China. China's government has stated consistently, explicitly, and repeatedly that it considers Taiwan part of Chinese territory and that it reserves the right to use military force to reunify it. The People's Liberation Army has conducted large-scale military exercises around Taiwan multiple times since 2022, each one more sophisticated than the last. A military conflict over Taiwan would not primarily be a humanitarian catastrophe, though it would be that. It would be an economic catastrophe of a kind the modern world has never experienced. TSMC's chairman has stated publicly that any attempt to seize TSMC by force would render its factories inoperable. The company has designed its systems so that remote disabling is possible. The manufacturing knowledge required to restart operations is embedded in the workforce, and the accumulated process documentation, neither of which can be captured quickly or transferred easily. A conflict that destroyed or disabled TSMC's production capacity would remove 92% of advanced chip supply from the global economy. No alternative exists. The United States currently produces approximately 0% of the world's most advanced semiconductors domestically. Europe produces approximately 0%. Japan's most advanced domestic production is several generations behind TSMC's frontier capability. The economic impact is not calculable with precision, because no economic model has ever needed to model the complete removal of a product that is embedded in every sector of every economy simultaneously. The closest historical parallel is the oil shocks of 1973 and 1979, when supply disruptions in a single critical commodity triggered recessions across the developed world. Oil can be substituted with other energy sources over time. Semiconductors at the leading edge have no substitutes at any price. Every modern weapon system used by American, European, and Allied militaries contains chips made at TSMC. The F-35 fighter jet requires approximately 3,000 chips per aircraft. Every Tomahawk cruise missile, every Aegis radar system, every satellite guidance component depends on semiconductor supply chains running through Taiwan. A conflict that disrupted TSMC would simultaneously degrade the military capacity of the countries whose support Taiwan depends on. The geopolitical trap this creates is precise and dangerous. The United States passed the CHIPS and Science Act in 2022, committing $52.7 billion to domestic semiconductor manufacturing investment. The European Union committed approximately 43 billion euros through its own CHIPS Act. Japan, South Korea, and India all launched domestic semiconductor investment programs. These investments are real. Their timelines are not reassuring. TSMC is currently building a fabrication facility in Arizona with $65 billion in committed investment. The facility is experiencing delays. Recruiting and retaining the engineering workforce required to run a leading-edge semiconductor facility in the United States has proven significantly harder than building the physical structure. TSMC's chairman publicly stated in 2023 that the Arizona facility would produce chips several generations behind TSMC's Taiwan frontier capability, meaning the geographic diversification does not replicate the technological capability it is designed to replace. Building a new semiconductor fabrication facility at the frontier capability level takes approximately 5 to 10 years under the best conditions. Accumulating the manufacturing knowledge embedded in TSMC's Taiwan workforce takes decades. The gap between current alternative capacity and the capacity required to replace TSMC's Taiwan operations, if those operations were suddenly removed, is measured in years of civilian economic damage and military capability reduction that no policy commitment currently in place can eliminate within any relevant crisis timeframe. The situation is not improving at the pace required. It is improving at the pace that is politically and economically achievable, which is a different thing. The Dutch East India Company held a monopoly over the global spice trade for most of the 17th century. Nutmeg, cloves, and mace were the semiconductors of their era, embedded in food preservation, medicine, and luxury trade across every European economy. The Dutch had identified the source, secured the production, and eliminated competition with a thoroughness that made the entire European economy dependent on their continued cooperation. When the Dutch monopoly was disrupted, first by competition and later by geopolitical realignment, the economic shock was severe and the recovery was slow. The dependency had been built over decades. The alternative supply chains took decades to establish. The TSMC dependency is the Dutch spice monopoly at civilizational scale, with a geopolitical tripwire attached. Your pension fund holds positions in companies whose entire product lines depend on TSMC's continued operation. Your smartphone contains components manufactured in a building that China's government considers part of its sovereign territory. The supply chain for the system that provides your health records, processes your bank transactions, and guides the aircraft you fly on runs through one location that every major intelligence agency identifies as the highest priority geopolitical flashpoint on Earth. The financial markets have not fully priced this risk. Semiconductor company valuations do not include a discount for the probability that their entire supply chain could be disrupted by a geopolitical event that multiple governments consider a realistic scenario within this decade. The 2021 shortage cost $210 billion and was caused by normal market volatility. The risk currently being mispriced is orders of magnitude larger. The most dangerous concentrations of economic power in history have never announced themselves as dangers. The Ottoman trade choke points looked like competitive advantages until the Portuguese found a way around them. The Dutch spice monopoly looked like sustainable market dominance until it wasn't. TSMC's dominance looks like a competitive success story, and in every narrow sense, it is. The question that the success story does not answer is what happens to every economy on Earth that has built itself around that story continuing. Every government currently investing in semiconductor independence has implicitly acknowledged that the answer to that question is alarming. None of them have said publicly how alarming their own classified assessments of the answer actually are. Every major economic collapse in history has involved a single point of failure that was visible in advance and mispriced by the markets that depended on it. The Ottoman debt trap, the Dutch spice monopoly, the South Sea Scheme, the Roman currency system, all of them were dependencies that seemed permanent until the moment they weren't. The TSMC dependency is the most precisely documented single point of failure in the global economy today, and the financial markets have not fully priced what its disruption would mean. If you want to understand these mechanisms before they resolve, subscribe, because by the time the news covers the disruption, the decisions that could have protected you will already have been made by someone else.